Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are live in UFRL. This is the 100% tier Friday night, and we are live from the Netherlands in Zandvoort. As you can see, the last week race results for round 12 at Austria. Link's Peace came home with the victory in the Kicksauber, with Hazer second, and Mr. Poem got on the podium as well for the Alpine. Ahead of Merck, who also got the DHL fastest lap as well for the additional point. Rusted Bolt competing for that championship in fifth. The Bird, the championship leader, took home P6 for the Kicksauber, and then you got Viking, Doug, Epic Frenchie, and Kesonator rounding out the top 10. Let's have a look at those driver standings then following last week. It is the Bird who leads the way, but the gap stands at 24 points over Rusty Bolt in P2. The Bird serving a race ban due to his penalty point count today, so no Bird on track gives an opportunity to Rusted Bolt to take the lead in the championship standings. He needs to secure, I do believe, a podium would guarantee his place at the top heading into round 14. Top four finish, well, fourth place would level it out between himself and the Bird. The Bird would be top due to more wins. So that is the battle for the championship. As you can see in development, Drac looking comfortable as he is clear of a boy knockout. Kicksauber looking strong as well. In the constructors, Williams and Aston Martin battling over second and third, with Haas not too far back as well. Let's have a look then at what is going on the screen. As you can see, one driver out on circuit, Hayes at the moment. It does look a little bit gloomy out on track, I must say. Have a look at the sky, and yeah, certainly a little bit grey, so maybe some rain could be inbound, or is it just going to be a bit overcast as some more drivers do get out on track? The Aston Martin, Haas, you've got a Visa RB, a Ferrari, an Alpine, and a Mercedes just coming out as well. But yeah, we've got Hazer here. You've got his new teammate for this race. Anthony is racing in Haas, so it's going to be an important debut for him. And also, you've got James in the Visa RB EM, also racing in the Ferrari. If you didn't know who Anthony was, it is YNWA, but I will be calling him Anthony for the race. Just makes it easier. But yeah, James in the Visa RB, EM in the Ferrari. They are also debutants for tonight. So let's see, Julian Hazer going to run down into turn one here at Zandvoort, and he'll be hoping for a strong lap. He is typically one of the stronger drivers as well. So here we go, out of turn one. I've got the Kicksauber on the side, just entering out or exiting out of the pit, and now beyond into turns two, and round a hairpin at turn three, the left-hander taking a wide line there, avoiding the curb on the exit, tries to avoid a snap as well, and now running through down into turns 4, 5 and 6 as he looks to head into sector 2. 24.6 through the first sector, and now he'll run up through the left and then the right hander. The double right handers just here as well. Make sure you get it right. Do not want to be getting on the outside curb there, because you can go straight on, but Hazer does avoid that nicely. And now heading round at turn 10, a little bit onto the curb, gets his DRS open as well, and will bring it up into round 11. It will be, of course, a purple middle sector. 48.8 so far for Hazer, but let's see as he'll get through into the DRS activation zone as well. So you on a detection zone rather. So if you are within 1 second of a car in front in the race, you will get that DRS. And speaking of DRS, now he opens up his rear wing, and to the line comes Hazer for the first lap. Is a 110.2 for the Haas, and now we are going to see some more drivers pop through. You've got the Aston Martin of Doug, 111.8 goes P2. You've got Lynx just starting his lap, and here comes Anthony, the second Haas. Is it going to be quicker? It's a 110.3 for Anthony, and it makes it a Haas 1 and 2. As we've got Angry Badger out there as well. You've got EM, he's about to complete his first lap in UFRL. Let's see him across the line in the Ferrari. It's a 111.2 and he goes third fastest. You've got James to the line, it's P6, and you've got Coffee, who splits to Haas and goes P2. Viking Fox rises up into fourth as well. So some strong times are being posted as we've got Epic Frenchie starting lap, and Link's Piece, of course, into sector 2 now. So we'll stick with the Kicksauber. As we've got support for Merck. I mean, I'll say my Discord is UFRL F1 Viva, so there you go. It's just easy for that. But let's have a look on the TikTok because we are live across both Twitch and TikTok this evening as well. Let's have a look. Of course, if you do want to put any comments through on either platform, do feel free. Feel free as well to give it a follow and a like as well. Let's see then. Link's piece rounding out to the line. It will be a 1:10.0 when the fastest lap heads away of the single kick Sauber. So he is up by 2/10 from Hazer, but Hazer is going to go for another run. He typically does 2 or 3 attempts before heading into the pit lane. So we're going to drop down and have a look at the Ferrari EM going again, but this one not a quicker lap. And the V car, but you've got James here, you've got Bam just starting a lap as well. And then you've got an improvement there from the Mercedes Epic Frenchie, rising up into P6, his first time of 1:10.6 for him. Let's go towards the Williams Rusted Bolt then, and he rounds out the long right-hand bend. And that is round at turns 13 through to 14 and to the line of 1:10.6. For the potential championship leader, Ivy, again, he needs a podium to secure his place at the top of the standings heading into round 14, and that is what he will be aiming for. Baker Gaming, and he improves, goes up to 8th position. We've got Bam here as well in the Visa RB, not burning his battery, however, so just taking it easy for his first run. I got Mr. Poem as well on a first attempt, but again, not using his battery on this occasion. Good evening to FD, and as I said just a second ago, I did put my Discord. It's UFRL F1 Viva, and that's my Discord and Frankie. But yes, Angry Badger on the medium compound tyre, and he is just trying to push it on those, but then he will go to softs later on. 7/10. Gaining by through the opening middle sector rather, so a strong middle sector for Angry Badger. But let's head to Merck, who's P11, 1:11.8, but again, he'll be another contender to push for a podium tonight. He only just missed out to his teammate last week, Mr. Poem, getting that top 3 finish. Both Alpines did put in a strong showing in last week's affair as well. A lot of battling going on at Austria with the likes of Warrener, LeBird involved as well. Those 4 in particular, I think Viking Fox was in there at times. But yeah, a lot of battling for round 12 last week. But round 13, we'll see if it continues to be a spicy race as well. Just heading to Doug across the line, remains in P10. You've got the 2 Haas coming out again. Let's see Hazer. Never mind, because he has invalidated, so he's not going to improve. Merck does improve, and it is up to P6, 1:10.6, very close to his teammate Rusted Bolt, who is in P7. It is realistic cars as well, so the realistic car performance for F1 24, so the Red Bulls are obviously the quickest. Then you've got the McLarens, then the Ferrari, then the Mercedes, then the Aston Martin, etc., etc., all the way down to the Kick Saubers, who are typically the slowest car. EM, obviously, again, making his debut. 1:10.9 so far for the Ferrari. We'll be hoping to get a few more tenths out of that Angry Badger in P12. Yet to really set the times alight. Mr. Poem does set the times alight, and it is the quickest time so far. 1:09.9, the first driver to set a sub 1:10, and it is Mr. Poem. So a strong effort for him, as we've got Anthony on a lap, and Anthony is also improving. So let's keep a watch and keep a close eye on Anthony. Doug also to the line and goes into the top 10 of 1:10.7. But here comes Anthony to the line. It's 3rd fastest for Anthony. He is ahead of his teammate Hader by 9 thousandths of a second. So again, another strong effort there. You've got Merck, who's going to go for another run. Doesn't look like rain is particularly inbound as well. Support for Lynx by Deck as well. So can Lynx Peace continue his fantastic recent run of form? I mean, last week he got victories across both the 100% and international tier. So yeah, very strong for Lynx Peace. I think it was the international tier that he got the win in. Yeah, because both Bad Boy got a penalty, or he had 6 places to serve. So yeah, in the end, it was victory in that race for Lynx Peace. So good stuff for him. and he'll be looking to bring that form forward into this race as well. Sadly for him, the championship will not be happening for Lynx, but the Constructors' Championship is pretty much set in stone. Merckler will be running out of fuel fairly soon, but is gaining through the middle sector, so if it's enough, could possibly edge him close towards the Hash duo and Coffee as well. So we are just going to stick here with Merck into Sector 3, but again, the red fuel light is currently flashing, so he will just about get to the line in time, and it is going to be a 1:10.5, and it rises him up ahead of his teammate and into 8th position. Viking Fox also gaining by a tenth of a second. Let's go towards Link's piece. Never mind, he's into the pits and avoids hitting the Ferrari as well. Coffee as well, on a lap, on a good lap as well at that. Coffee to the line, it's P3 for him. Viking Fox remains in P7, so Coffee then is the one pushing it with Mr. Poem and Link's piece. And then further down, Epic Frenchie not gaining any time. You've got James as well, round at the bend through turns 14 and 15 as well. So let's see if James can get to the line well, and it's a 1:11.8. Does go up to P14. Andrew Badger in the pits. Bam is on an outlap. William as well on an outlap for Willie Fernandez, of course. And Iceman in the McLaren yet to head out onto the track. So let's have a look again. Coffee, of course, just going to calm it down a bit. Hazer, we'll be waiting to see if he's on a lap, and it does look like he is. I mean, he's burning the battery a little bit, so yes. And it is not an improvement, actually, for the opening 2 sectors for Hazer, so he might just calm it down a little bit on this lap. But let's see, he's going to continue to push on, maybe just trying to push all the way, and there you go. He has pushed a little bit too much in the end, and does invalidate his lap, although there was a Williams in an interesting position there. A very interesting position as Merck decides lawn mowing is the best way to go. Really is lawn mowing. I know he's out of fuel, of course. Epic French, then let's see. He is also heading into the pits. Perhaps a couple of other drivers will do that as well. Most of the field, in fact, are in the pits. We've still got James, but again, his red fuel light is flashing. So the likely scenario is that James may just head into the pits. And there you go. So the only driver on the lap, Willie Fernandez. Let's have a look at his first hot lap in the McLaren this evening then. Thought his name was Mark. Yep, very true, very true. Mark doing well in P8 at the moment, just ahead of Rusted Bolt there, so he's looking to do well in this race. And you know, I'll be telling a lie if he doesn't do well. I think he will. I think he'll put in a strong performance. He normally does. We know Mark's normally a strong believer in just putting up a good performance, really. So yeah, let's see what he can do tonight, though. Yeah, I'll be lying if I didn't think he'll be doing well. Willie Fernandez, let's see what he could do in the McLaren out of turn number 12 here. But yeah, and thank you for the follow to Frost as well on the Twitch. There you go, that's the right one. Willie Fernandez then out of turns 13 and now out of turn 14 to the line for Willie Fernandez. Where would he go? It's a 1:11.0, slots into P14. Doug also is on a lap, and you've got Anthony likewise. Doug not improving through the first sector. And what about Anthony? Well, he is gaining by almost 3 tenths, and this improvement could put him up to the top of the leaderboard here. So let's keep an eye on Anthony through into turns 13 and 14. Now out of the bend. Oh, gets a little bit onto the curb, onto the grass as well. Will it still be enough for Anthony? No! And maybe that was the critical error in missing out on pole by the fact he has made that mistake there out of turn 14. So there you go. That has definitely cost him a little bit of time, and as you can see up the front of the field, it is fractions that you need, and Anthony has just lost those fractions of time by getting onto the curb and the grass as well. But if he didn't do that, I'm pretty sure it would have been a set in stone P1 for him. Destroyer Jack also doing well, up to 5th place, the development tier championship leader, who is looking to assert his authority on tonight's race here. Is looking to secure that title as well. I mean, having a pretty dominant season in that department. But let's see if he can continue his good form in the 100% tier tonight. In the Aston Martin into the middle sector, and it is not again through the opening 2 sector. So maybe we'll just drop away as our Hazer gaining by 2/10 through the first sector. So this looks to be a solid outing for Hazer. A little bit, almost like a little snap player for Hazer, but luckily avoids any form of spin, but onto the curb, and it is an invalidation. Hazer not looking overly comfortable so far in the Haas, it has to be said. But you did see from that first sector, it was a blistering first sector. He was gaining by over that 2/10 period. So Hazer would still be one to watch. Do not rule him out for a possible pole position. Viking Fox then in the Mercedes got a little bit of traffic, a couple of cars up the road there. The Ferrari, who looks like they're on a lap, a V-Carb, who is not on a lap. That's the Ferrari just ahead, and what are they going to do here? They get a little bit onto the curb, that Ferrari. It's going to be close. Does Viking Fox get that slipstream when he's certainly going to be going close here? And up to the line, he's sort of half-heartedly getting into the slipstream, and it's an improvement. It's a 1:10.0, and Viking Fox is up to 5th fastest now. You might want to turn that battery off. Yeah, might want to reduce the battery and just completely limit it because he's still using overtake. Coffee then, starting his hot lap, and there's not too long to go now, only a minute or two. So if you do want to start your lap, you need to start it now. There you go, 2.5 minutes of qualifying remaining. James improving through the first sector. Angry Badger, well, he's dropped off in this lap. He did get an 11.2 to put him into P15. But of course, now it's just having to relax on his efforts. Merck gained by a 10th, 1:10.5, still ahead of us to Bolt. Baker Gaming not improving through the first sector, but doing well. 1:10.4 in the top 8 for Baker Gaming. Viking Fox then, of course, just saw a lap, and Coffee now cooling it down, recovering his battery. So interesting now what the drivers are going to do. Go for one more lap, maybe 2 final laps here. But they're going to be pushing all the way for pole. Mr. Poem currently has that pole and is starting a lap. Let's see if he's burning the battery. He's certainly not. So Mr. Poem knows he has one final lap in hand. Just over 90 seconds to go here in qualifying. So again, you do have enough time to get one extra lap in. It's an interesting tactic there from Coffee. Burning a little bit even on this lap. I do wonder, is he going to try and push on this lap? But then he's not got loads of battery to go, so this must be it for Coffee. He's hoping to get this final run in. Let's have a look at other drivers. Baker Gaming doing some lawn mowing, as we saw from Mark earlier in the race. And Mark just out of turn 1 as well, so he will be hoping to push on, but again, not burning the battery. You've got Epic Frenchy as well, P11. Doug just starting a lap in P12. James, who we saw a little bit earlier on, you got Bam as well, just behind his teammate, in fact, and he is on a lap as well, Bam. So he may just keep a watch on his lap time here. He's coming up to his teammate. His teammate does move out of the way, however. So very close through the final sectors. Bam gets a little bit uncomfortable onto the curb as well. Then it turns 13 into 14. And now to the line comes Bam. Is it going to be enough to put in a strong effort? It's a 1:10.8. Leaves him in P13. Currently, Woody Fernandez is in 15th. James starting his lap as well. But it's not in a great position. There's a little bit of traffic around him as Coffee is retiring from a session. And of course, Coffee is in P3. So maybe just about to lose a couple of additional spots there. Let's have a look. Mark into the pits. It's P9 for him. It's not enough. Hazer goes quickest. A 109.6 to the line. Mr. Poem not gaining through the first sector. Link's Piece goes up to P2. The checkered flags are out. Anthony is on a lap. Anthony is also improving by a 10th through the middle sector. Can he get that pole position here? To the line. It's P2. It's a potential 1 and 2 for Haas. Does Mr. Poem have anything to say about it? Can he get himself pushy with the Haas? Mr. Poem to the line. It's P4 for Poem. Destroyer Jack is gaining. He's gaining significantly. Destroyer Jack has a chance. It's P2 for Jack. He does not quite take pole, but he's ever so close. EM rises into the top 8. Great effort from him. James to the line, out of fuel, and he stays P17. Willie Fernandez will be P15, and Hazer takes pole position here at the Netherlands. There you go. He needed to get some form this season. Of course, the season 7 was the season 7 champion in Tier 1. But either way, finally recovers something for this season and does get this pole position. He'll be hoping to get into Season 9 in fine form, but hopefully for his sake, this can be the start of that. Destroyer Jack splitting the Haas duo as well. Jack in P2. Then you've got Anthony in third with a Lynx piece on the second row as well. And an Alpine lookout for the third row. But anyway, let's see then, as we are waiting on Willie Fernandez's car in the pits at the moment, and then we'll be getting down to the full classification of qualifying, and then we'll be having a 5-minute break for the Grand Prix. So we'll just be getting that 5-minute break out, and let's have a look. Race Day Lounge. So we'll be going at, I'm going to probably say 33, just to give the drivers an additional sort of minute to get through the results. Anyways, as you can see, the results are on for you. Hazer P1 has taken a 109.678, and Destroyer Jack losing out by 0.03 of a second, but is on the front row for the Aston Martin. Anthony taking home third place, 2 Haas right up there, and Lynx Piece in the Constructors' Championship leaders, Kick Sauber, and he's in fourth. The 2 Alpines line up 5th and 6th, Mr. Poem on the podium last week, and Coffee the Dutchman at his home Grand Prix in P6. Viking Fox 7th from EM, Baker Gaming, and Merck in the top 10, and you've got Rusty Bolt, the championship contender, down in 11th. So he has a lot to do in this race. As I just said a moment ago, a 5-minute break, and we will be readying up at 20:33. So that will be the time for drivers to go. So we'll be back in a few minutes' time to get prepared for the Dutch Grand Prix. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. The drivers have just been told to ready up as well, so the 5 minute break has been completed. Yes, indeed, we are still going strong. We do have 5 tiers actually, so we've got tier 1, 2, and 3. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all pace based. The Friday night, of course, tonight, 100% tier, and then Saturday night, international tier, so 5 races per week. I'm going to presume you might have been a driver. Oh, Ruff. I feel like I recognise the name Ruff. I'm not sure exactly where from, however. You might have been around in season 1. That wasn't when I was around. I've been here since season 2. Unless you were here since then. Then I apologise. Either way, let's see how the race will unfold. Here we are. And we have got the lights on. It's 5 red lights in UFRL. The 100% tier and the Netherlands. It's go, go, go. Hazer away. And he's away strongly. And takes the lead into turn 1. Side by side. And it is the Haas of Anthony round the outside. A spin. Coffee with a spin at his home Grand Prix. He drops the P18. It's a Haas 1 and 2. Hazer from Anthony will drag in the top 3. Links and Mr. Poem up the order. Anthony closing in on his teammate Hazer at the start of the Grand Prix. And there's a battle going on further back between William and James, which you can have a look side by side. And William going down the inside of James and up into P14. Good move from him. Bam! Also trying to take some places, getting close. And now Merck is all over the rear of him, down in P12. Not a great start for Merck, as he's down 1 place from the start. The position changes there for you as well. So a strong start. Up 4 for Epic Frenchie. He's had the best start of the lot. And up 3 also for Bam, who has opened the gap ahead and is closing in on Rusted Bolt. The championship leader up 1. The potential championship leader up 1 and into the top 10. But side by side also almost there between Baker Gaming and Epic Frenchie. Frenchie a little bit twitchy into sector 3. But we're going to have a look further down the field. And we were going to go up, but we're going to go down because we've got Willie Fernandez here closing in on Doug. Maybe going to try and make a move on Doug. James also wants to get that P14 back, and side by side Angry Badger goes down the inside on Iceman, and he does take the place and up into P16. But we're going to go back up the field towards this battle. Baker Gaming goes side by side with Bam, and Baker Gaming losing out to Bam, who is into the top 10. What can Merck do? He wants a piece of the action, Merck, and he goes round the outside, make it the inside, and Merck takes a place and back into P11, and now needs to take 1 more spot to recover a top 10. We're going to go back up the field. Into the pits goes Coffee. An unfortunate first lap for him, replacing his front wing, you do imagine. Let's have a look at the tyre situation as well. Nobody's on the hards. It is softs and mediums all round. Only 3 drivers, Destroyer Drac, EM and William, opting for the soft compound of tyre at the start of the Grand Prix. Let's go back to the position change. And Angry Badger now fighting out with James, who's into the wall. James is into the wall, and there may have been a bit of contact between himself and Angry Badger there. Iceman behind as well. But could that be a possible incident regarding James and Angry Badger on lap 2, round at turn 13 into 14? Certainly possible. Anthony leads the Grand Prix. Destroyer Drac taken over from Hazer and up into P2 now. Hazer dropping to P3 and Link's Piece in 4th. Mr. Poem on the podium last week in 5th. Hazer was also on the podium in P2. Let's see if Hazer can make some moves up here. Has a look on the inside. Doesn't quite go for it on Destroyer Drac. Again, a little bit interesting on the steering there from Hazer. A little bit almost more sort of twitchy than usual as Anthony's off. Anthony is off track. He's going to drop some places onto the grass. And Anthony drops from P1 down to P7. He's going to be under threat here because there could be a strong line from Epic Frenchie, who's gaining ground and gaining territory. Down the inside goes Epic Frenchie, ever so close, but it looks like Anthony has just got it covered and remains in P7, but he lost 6 places in going wide. I was saying qualifying, you do not want to go wide there, and that is certainly a mistake from Anthony in this Grand Prix. So he's dropped down the order, further up the field. You've got a Lynx piece going for a move. Down the inside on Hazer. Mr. Poem trying to get involved as well. Jack leading the way. And Mr. Poem does seem to take Hazer. Has he got the move? Yes, he does. And Mr. Poem onto the podium and up into P3. But Destroyer Jack on those soft tyres lead. Mr. Poem goes a little bit wide. And it did sort of compromise him slightly. But luckily remains in third and closing the gap now towards Lynx piece. He's looking good here for Mr. Poem, and he wants to land another big move into the top 2 if he can get it. So yeah, the biggest gain so far, Epic Frenchie, he was actually dropping. I was saying he was one of the biggest gains, but sadly for him, something has occurred. He's dropping a few spots, battling now with Doug, and Doug on the outside line there will get the DRS here. We'll try to switch back as well. Doug gets a little bit onto the curb. I don't think he'll be able to have enough to get the move done here. DRS not too powerful between turns 10 into turn 11. So that's why Doug will just have to hold off in the end and get DRS down the main straight. We are going to go up the field, have a look towards Hazer, who is closing the gap towards Poem and who was quite far back from Lynx, just within 1 second now. Lynx the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Hazer has a little gentle look on the inside, doesn't go for anything. Viking Fox, EM, doing well up in P6 in the Ferrari. So strong effort from him. And you've got Anthony in P7, of course. Had that mistake a couple of laps ago. Gets close to the Ferrari there. Russell Bolt, Bam, and Merck all in the top 10. And they're all battling each other. Where was Mr. Poem? Loses out to Hazer in the end. So Hazer fielding there was a position to take there. And he takes it with both hands. And is up into P3. You've got EM then closing in on Viking Fox. Is he going to go for a move down the inside? He does go for the move down the inside on Viking Fox. Not quite there to take it. Gets a switch on the exit. Anthony goes straight through. And what does that give? The second place in the championship for Russell Bolt. Can he find his way past EM as well in this Grand Prix? He's got the outside line. He goes and breaks later. But he gets a little bit snappy. And he does get a little half spin. Loses out to EM. And back down to P8 now. What does Bam and Merck do about this? Bam goes down the inside. It was too late. Too little, too late for Bam. And he loses out there to Russell Bolt. Let's be honest. Making a move into turn 13 is never going to be successful. And no wonder why in the end he doesn't quite get it. Merck now trying to fight his way. As he got Anthony's round. And it's damage. I think Mark is involved as well. Penalties. And it's a safety car as well. Anthony was spun, and certainly contact on the end of that between Anthony and Merck. And that is gutting between the pair of them. So now there will be some, well, obviously it's a safety car, there will be some pit stops. You imagine those on the soft tyres, potentially Destroyer Jack might have a look at an early stop here. Now let's go to the tyre situation then. But yeah, definitely those at the back. I think Anthony would definitely pit. He's got damage. I think Merck must have some damage as well here. There you go. End plate damage for Merck. End plate damage also on for Anthony. So both of them will be pitting. Just a question whether or not anybody up the field, because you had the likes of Viking has gained some places out of that as well. So whether or not there was anything between, say, Mr. Poem, between Anthony, between Lynx, Viking. Not too certain. Hazer maybe could have been up there as well. We'll see if any of them do pit. As Iceman has left the session, presume that it's just connection issues. And into the pits goes Merck and Bam as well. Heads in, of course, he did have that battle where he went down the inside of Russell Bolt at turn 13. Didn't quite pay off for him. And again, being realistic and moving to turn 13 was never really going to be suffice for him. And he does drop down at the field. But they're all seemingly either taking penalties here, which most of them are, in fact. The only one who stayed out there, surprised with, his Merck. He has got damage as well, so very surprised Merck is not into the pits here. Because he could have served that 10-second penalty as well. I mean, surely, because you're going to have to serve that 10-second penalty in the pits. I'm very surprised Merck has not pitted on this lap here. Rusted Bolt also second in the championship, down to P17. Let's have a look, though. Does Merck pit on this lap? I mean, again, what the damage? And a 10 seconds to serve. Surely he's better off doing that. Let's have a look if he does pull to the right side. Yeah, he does. So he is pitting now. I mean, oh no, he's got a 10-second penalty. I can imagine he's not particularly happy right now, Mark. And the bad news for him, I know he's serving the 10 seconds now, but the likely scenario is that the safety car will be in the next lap. Well, technically this lap. So he is replacing his wing. He will drop to last, which we knew that anyway. We knew he would drop to last place. So now the safety car will technically be in this lap as well. He will have those 10 seconds to serve. Iceman is ahead of Angry Badger. Not certain as to what has occurred there. Don't know if Badger had got ahead and Iceman had to repass him or not, but either way, that's the order now. That might be a possible penalty incoming, depending on where they were beforehand. So if Badger was actually ahead of Iceman, then there might be a penalty for Iceman unless he gives it back. If not, then ignore what I'm saying. But yeah, Merck on the fresh soft tyres now. So he will be quick through the field, but again, oh wait, his penalty is not there. Oh, he's a lucky boy. He got to serve that penalty. So he's not yet caught up to the rear of the train as well. So the game has not decided that the safety car is in this lap yet. Watch out for making a late call. It's not going to be in this lap. So we're going to have another lap then. It will be one additional lap under the safety car. But yeah, Merck did actually get to serve. I do want to check even the race director just to make it interesting. Have a look. He definitely got 10 seconds. Oh, he didn't get a 10-second penalty to begin with. Ah, okay. I thought he was one of the names that popped up for the 10-second penalty, I see. That's why then. That's why he didn't actually have the 10 seconds to serve to begin with. But then the ignoring yellow flags came up and he did get 10 seconds and had to serve it. So I suppose in a way you could say justice is kind of served based on the 10-second penalty. And he gets onto the curb there as well. But yeah, doesn't matter too much. He's down the last and had to serve that penalty. Right, up the field then. Destroyer Jack, who's on softs, don't forget. So only two drivers, Destroyer Jack and Willie Fernandez, still on their soft tyres. It looks like Iceman is still continuing, unfortunately, with the connection problems. So I don't think Iceman is going to really be able to get back into the race fully now. And also, thank you for the follow to Keon. Appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying the race. I know we're under safety car conditions, but we won't be under safety car conditions for much longer. We will be getting started again on lap 10. And there you go, safety car in this lap, and I will be getting the telemetry up as well. Oh. Hazer for a moment did get ahead of Destroyer Jack there. Just want to be a bit careful. Oh, no. That's not how it should happen. What's happened here? Why is Jack... That's not good. I'm not certain. Not certain what's going on here. I think there were illegal overtakes involved there. But Hazer and Viking really shouldn't be ahead of Jack, I've got to say. Jack should be leading here, and Hazer may very well get a penalty. Unless he somehow lets Jack back through without causing any carnage. Hazer is away. But yeah, that might not be good news coming for Hazer, because he did technically overtake under the safety car. But down the inside goes Lynx on Mr. Poem. Hazer's not yet given the places back, so it seems It's happening as it is. There might be a penalty coming for Hazer at the end of the race. James, unfortunately, yellow flags for him in Sector 1. So, James down in P18 in the Visa RB. But yes, Hazer will be under a bit of pressure from the stewards and will very much probably have to send a POV in for a lap 10 safety car restart. But Mr. Poem, Jack, Lynx all close towards Viking, who have lost ground on Hazer as well. Mr. Poem fighting away with Lynx Piece 2, so Lynx Piece ending up losing out there. He did, of course, battle to get the place, but sadly for him, couldn't quite make it happen. Still close, but not close enough. A bit wide there from Jack. Don't forget he's on soft as well, so his tyres are not going to be in tip-top condition for the Aston Martin, as he is struggling to keep pace with Hazer, and also struggling to keep up with Viking Fox. And yellow flags again. It's EM. And it's Anthony. Two new drivers have got the yellow flags out. And there's no front wing here for Anthony. EM doesn't look like he's got clear damage there, luckily for him. But certainly Anthony has got damage. And the three new drivers are the three right at the back of the field. Anthony receives a 10-second time penalty. Anthony is out of the race. There you go, Anthony. Certainly involved in something there, potentially, with EM. I mean, it must have been. Whether or not there was one or two other drivers involved remains to be seen. But anyways, let's have a look further up. We've got Lynx, well, actually no, further down, because I see Badger is certainly under pressure here from Coffee, but also then Merck, who had a look on the inside there. Don't forget Merck on no soft tyres. He'll be hoping to rise up the field here. And as a look on the inside of Coffee, he knows it's a critical move to make. A little bit loses traction there, but it's a virtual safety car. And Bam! Bam is in a bit of trouble. He has lost his front wing. Not all of it, but certainly a good portion of it, and a virtual safety car has been called out there. So, unfortunately for Merck, not able to take the place from Coffee. Yes, I can. I certainly can, Mr. Woody, yes. But yeah, Hazer, Viking, and Jack are top three at the moment. Let's have a look. Bam does head into the pit. Iceman also going to the pits, and Bam, a 10-second penalty. Bam also joins Anthony, retires from the race, down to 16 drivers now. And Iceman there repairing his wing, but he's left the lobby again. I'm going to admit, I think Iceman, unfortunately, I don't think you're going to get properly into the lobby, mate, sadly. Right, Hazer then, leading the way, 1 second advantage. But of course, we are now back, and it is green flag racing. So we are going to drop back and have a look at Rusted Bolt, because he is closing a bit of a twitch there as well for Bolt on the exit of turn 9. It's 10. So that gives Badger a chance to close up. But for the one that we're going to be watching has to be Merck here, because he's having a look around the outside. Does he go for the move? Well, there's a move down the outside from Coffee. And Coffee goes into the gravel. Merck takes the pair of them. But Coffee must have had something there with Badger, because Badger's lost out to Merck as well. So again, another potential incident. There's more incidents in this race than what there usually are, and 100% in, that's for sure. But a big move there. Bolt taking both Bakey Gaming and Willie Fernandez. And the man second in the championship is up into 8th position there, taking Bakey. But Merck now is on the rear of this battle, on the fresh tyres, don't forget. I want to have a look further up, but I'm actually having to drop back because Merck makes a move on Willie Fernandez, and up into the top 10 now. We can close that gap towards Bakey Gaming, and a purple first sector at that as well. Merck is absolutely flying on those soft tyres, isn't he? Although, then again, he gets onto the curb on the outside. Something that you don't want to do, something that Anthony did try, and didn't test in a successful manner earlier in the Grand Prix, as Viking Fox and Hazer, I do believe, just trading places there. Viking Fox now takes the lead of the Grand Prix. With a look here towards Doug, who is on the rear of this little battle. Mr. Poem, Lynx, Frenchie and Doug. And Doug burning his battery, wants to make a move on Epic Frenchie, unable to do so. Lynx Peace, however, is able to go down the inside on Mr. Perlman up into 4th place then. And Merck gets the fastest lap of the race here. But now, the tough challenge for Merck is he's behind 2 drivers, Russell Bolt and Baker Gaming. And of course, Bakey will be getting DRS. However, Merck looks to go round the outside at the hairpin. Gives him a chance. Draws alongside. Here as well. Can Merck make it round the outside? A splendid move. And Mark is up into P9. He is flying in the Williams. Amazing from Mark there. Now, the 2 Williams can potentially work together and close the gap to the top 7. Angry Badger ahead of Coffee now. Of course, they had a little ding-dong battle, shall we say, a couple of laps previously. We're going to go back up the field and have a look here. Epic Frenchie closing in, but Willie Fernandez is going to make a move down the inside on Bakey Gaming. And Willie Fernandez rising up into the top 10 now. But Bakey Gaming is going to have a look to get back at him. And he will get DRS here. William will not. Coffee also gets through. An Angry Badger there seemed to get onto the curb there. So a little bit of trouble, but Baker Gaming, let's go back towards him as Viking Fox still preserves that P1. And Baker Gaming does make his way through on Willie Fernandez and back into the top 10. But Merck, as you can see, is on the rear now of his teammate Rusted Bolt. And they are closing the gap to the top 7 at 1.2 seconds. So they are making inroads now. Can they get in DRS range is the question. I'm going to go up the field here. Viking Fox, Hazer, Destroyer, Drac. All onto the podium at the moment. And Viking Fox would be happy. There's old Link's Piece. What's happened? Kick Sauber, Link's Piece. He's had a bit of a problem there. He's now dropped down to P11 behind Baker Gaming and Willie Fernandez. Link's Piece, Netherlands, certainly not being his desired track for Season 8 here. There's a couple of issues at this track this season, I have to say. And that's another one of them. He wants to try and get back up the field after taking 2 wins last week. One in the 100% tier, one in the international tier. And he's a long way away from getting another victory tonight. But if he could do it, I've got to say, he'll pull off a fantastic fate. As Hazer still closing in on Viking Fox, but unable to make the move there. So I'm going to drop back a little bit because now the 2 Williams, Rusted Bolt and Merck have entered the fray. And Merck here does want to have a look at his teammate. Angry Badger's out! Badger's out and it is a safety car. We're going to have a look at the Ferrari. Oh, that's a stricken Ferrari, isn't it? And there you go. As we saw, the looks like the front wing there decided to clatter down as well. But the Ferrari is out. We've lost Angry Badger. And it's a safety car, and it's a drive-through penalty for the race leader, Viking Fox. That is such inexperience from the Mercedes to get the drive-through when you're leading the Grand Prix. Such an unnecessary penalty to get, but unfortunately for him, he's got no choice now. He's going to have to serve it. But it's a poor and disappointing penalty for the Mercedes to receive. Obviously, you can't do anything about it now. You just have to serve it when the safety car comes in. I'll be honest, they're probably all going to pit now. Let's get the tyres up because they are all most likely going to box. Yeah, I was going to say, there are some. That's not Destroyer Jack, is it? Destroyer Jack stayed out on soft tyres. I've got to say, I want to know what he's been taking tonight. There's no way he's just come home from work. He's got to be doing something else. What's he been doing on the 16 laps on those soft tyres? Oh my goodness. Well, best of luck to Destroyer Jack on those tyres. They are going to not be feeling particularly well, I have to say. If only I decided to race today, it seems a fun race. It seems pretty hectic, doesn't it? Safety cars are on increase, I might add. And that's because we haven't actually had that many safety cars, certainly in recent races. But at least we're getting some tonight. But it's, yeah, pretty chaotic race in terms of the strategy. Want to get yourself onto the correct tyres. But yeah, Drac, 16 laps on his soft tyres. I mean, I know it's a long race. There might yet be some safety cars as well, adding on to the ones we've already had. But, wow. Don't know, would anybody else have done the same strategy? Have gone 16 laps on softs, safety car comes out and stayed out? Or has he thought, you know what, I've made a mistake, maybe I should pit because I'm the only one on those old soft tyres? I'm going to be honest, I think Jack's going to lose so many places on these tyres now. Let's have a look if Jack does now pit or not. Yeah, he stays out. Well, he's got confidence, that's for sure. He's feeling confident on his incredibly old tyres. As James receives a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pits now. Is that a second one tonight? Possibly. And don't forget, Viking Fox, although he does lead on those who have just pitted, he still has to serve a drive-through penalty. It's a rogue shout staying out on those softs, I presume he meant. Yeah, I mean, a rogue shout. That's a nice way of saying it. I mean, if it works, it works. Maybe he's just hoping that the longer he can run, we'll get another safety car, then he can pit and be on the freshest tyres. I mean, that's all I can think of, really. Unless he decides to go into the race saying, I'm only going to pit once, so I cannot pit now. Yeah, no worries. I'm presuming that was Iceman. Yeah, no worries, mate. Um, Medium runners should have pitted as well. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Baker Gaming and Link's Peace. I think all three of them should have pitted. Maybe Bolt as well. Maybe EM. They're all on older tyres. Yeah, certainly for Drac. I think he's the one who's... Yeah, I do know one thing. He's not going to give up the lead for a safety car restart. But again, he might not get anybody overtaking him. Cough, cough, Hazer. But again, Hazer may very well get a penalty after the race for his overtake. Yeah, no worries. So your name's Scott. Didn't even know that, but yeah, no worries, mate. So let's see, Destroyer Jack on the safety car restart again. How is he going to play it? On those old softs, he's obviously going to have to take a bit more time because he won't be able to get the traction out straight away. But he goes now, and it is a good, strong restart as well because Rusted Bolt not as close as the Williams would like to be. One man who is close here is Link's Peace, and Link's Peace is going to have a look on Baker Gaming. He's going to go down the inside on Baker Gaming, and he wants to take P3 away from the Red Bull, but they are going side by side. Minor contact between the pairing, but as Link's finally got the move done, Bakey still fights it, but that's the move done. Eventually, at a hairpin, and Link's Peace up onto the podium out of turn 3. Further down, Merc, Epic French, and here comes Coffee. Coffee having a look on the inside line. And he does look to have got the place. Yes, he does. Round the outside he goes on the soft tyre as well, Coffee. And now he's up into P11. You've got Merc coming through as well. We'll get Woody's hated tyres away. I'm just joking. Sorry, Woody. But yes, let's see if Merc can make some moves up here in this race. And behind Woody Fernandez and does go round the outside. That could allow for Coffee to make a sneaky attack as well. As he closing off, it looks like he's just having a half-hearted attempt, but stays in P11. Let's have a look back towards Merc then. Next driver will be Doug, and that's for 8th place, and he's got Mr. Poem. That'll be for P7. Moves can be made here down the straight into turn 1. As you've also got Woody Fernandez being closed in by Coffee, and into the pits goes Viking Fox, serving his drive-through penalty, and James into the pits as well. Woody Fernandez overtaken by Coffee, who is now up into P9 on those soft tyres. Doug losing out to Merc. Merc rises to P7, and Mr. Poem on the rear of Hazer as well. Let's just double check. So who's on the first tyre? So it's Hazer downwards, okay. And that's the pit stop situation. As you can see, Drac, Link's, Baker Gaming, the only 3 yet to pit. May very well have been a mistake. And if you see the top left, it still says safety car. That is just a game bug, unfortunately. So it will be there for a fair portion. Hopefully, it will get removed at some point. Not apparently, if you get like a lot of yellow flags, then it eventually removes it. So yeah, hopefully. We don't want anybody to get yellow flags, but that may very well have to be the situation as Merc gets through on Mr. Poem and up into the top 6 now. And also a move, having a look there. was Coffee, but it doesn't quite make it on Doug. Has to settle for that P9 for the moment. Bit of so Russell Bolt currently in P2. He has pitted in this race and still behind Drac. Destroyer Drac, gotta say, on those soft tyres, given how old they are, yet to pit as well, he's done a tremendous job. As Coffee now is fighting on the outside, but Doug, no, it's not Doug, rather, it's Coffee who made a bit of contact with Mr. Poem and does decide to give the place up to Doug, I do believe. I think he let the Aston Martin through. So in the end, yeah, Mr. Poem, Doug, Coffee, but Merck looks quick here. Merck into P6, closing in on Hazer now. Certainly looking very much mighty, but Doug in the Aston Martin on a pad tonight, if you're wondering, which is why he's a little bit quicker, a fair bit quicker than what he would be in Tier 3. So he has a look, maybe just defending the place from Coffee, who's giving him a nice little bump, a little love tap. And you've also got Willie Fernandez there as well. So these are certainly looking to battle for positions. Epic Frenchie and EM are the two drivers behind them as well. But they're all just settling in for their current position there as the McLaren of Willie Fernandez getting close towards Coffee. I do wonder, would it be smart to let Coffee go knowing it's on soft tyres maybe? I mean, if you work with Coffee, you could bring yourself further forward to that sort of pack up the field as Merck does make a move on Hazer. Is up into P5, Mr. Perm, then Doug, Lennox, Coffee. I do wonder if they need Coffee to be leading this group here. As, oh, what's happened? Mr. Poem has made a mistake. And Doug's through now on Mr. Poem. Doug's up into P7. Epic Frenchie also makes a move on Willie Fernandez. But Willie Fernandez takes it back with the traction. But look how close Coffee is again. He's on the soft. He's going to be quicker than them at the moment. I mean, I do think maybe the Alpines can work together. Coffee get ahead. He's on softs. So maybe give him a chance here in this race. And not just him, but give them all a chance. If they can all close that gap to the top 6, then they've all got a shot at a podium. That's got to be the way to do it, surely. Yeah, if I'm Mr. Poem, I wouldn't personally fight it much. I'd have just let Coffee go, given he's on softs. That's the only reason. You know, he's going to be very quick. Obviously, it won't last too long. But then again, for Destroyer Jack, somehow he's pulled out the gap on Rusted Bolt. I'm got to say, very much baffled as to how he can get the gap he's got. Fair play to Drac on that. And there you go, Coffee round the outside of Mr. Poem. Does finally get the move and up into P8 now. That's home Grand Prix, of course. Dutchman, and is now closing in on Doug as well. May have been a little bit frustrating that period, though, for Coffee. He would have felt that he needs to be the one leading this pack. And he's onto the grass a little bit there. Got to be careful making these moves. I know, obviously, Doug would have probably just been in no battery mode. Speaking of which, we're going to get the telemetry off as well. But yeah, Coffee, just for a moment, was having a look. But let's see if he decides to make a move now on Doug. Mark further up the field, also behind Baker Gaming and Link's piece as well. So may move away from this battle, but Coffee does not go for the move down the inside on Doug. So settles for his position heading into turn 11 and now running up into turn 13 as well. And Doug remains in the position of P7. Coffee just behind. And Coffee now will get DRS. So you do imagine this will be a relatively easy move for Coffee to make. And now he's up into P7. And now Coffee on those soft tyres can try and pull this group forward. Because I've got to admit, again, I don't think their strategy was the right one. I think they should have let Coffee go and try to use his soft tyres. Further back low, Willie Fernandez under pressure once more from Epic Frenchie. And also up the field, we're going to see Mark now on Bakey Gaming. What can Mark do? Can he get through on the Red Bull driver? Of course, yet to pit is Bakey Gaming. Mark already pitted twice in this Grand Prix. Can he get a move and settle for that fourth and then push himself ahead of Lynx and try and close the gap to the top 2 again? It's all about counting the quickest, not the quickest drivers necessarily, as Mark now does have a look on the inside of Baker Gaming, but it's more the fact that Mark will be able to push those tyres more, given they are much fresher, and he's also on a better tyre compound as well, of course. So yeah, let's see. Mark on the mediums. He's against a medium tyre runner, yes, but he will look to get this place on the much fresher tyres here. Mark down the inside on Baker Gaming. And has he finally got the place into turn one? Yes, he does. And Mark up into 4th place now. So Baker Gaming could not quite fight it. Hazer just behind them as well. Hazer, don't forget, has already pitted in P6. Viking Fox had to serve that drive-through penalty, currently in P13. He's only 6 seconds away from the battle between Poem, William, Frenchy, and EM. And it looks like Coffee is pulling away from the likes of Doug, Mr. Poem, who has lost out a bit of ground as well. So yeah, gaps are being formed further back. Oh! Mistake there from Baker Game, and that was close. Hazer luckily avoiding a little snap there from the Red Bull and luckily up to 5th place, but it has cost him some time, and now Hazer's going to really have to push hard to stay within the 1 second window, and I think he has just about been successful, so he will get DRS into turn 1 on Merc and Link's piece. We're going to go towards Merc now. Again, he'll be feeling quick on the fresher tyres as well. And here he comes. Into the pits. There goes Baker Gaming. And Merc does get through. And Merc into 3rd place. So can he be the one to push this group forward towards Drac and Bolt, who are both in the top 2 currently? Then you've got Willie Fernandez ahead of Epic Frenchy. You've got Mr. Poem. And they've all lost a lot of time, however. And here we go. Oh, there you go. Epic Frenchy ahead of Mr. Poem. And a very close collision there between a pair of them. And now EM's going to have a look as well. EM just behind Mr. Poem. An uncomfortable past few laps for Mr. Poem, it has to be said. Dropping down to P10. He was in the battle for pole position during qualifying as well. Obviously, I know he's not a full-time driver. Maybe next season he will be, though. Equal cars. And that should entice some of the tier 1s as well to go for the equal car performance. But there will be 2 tiers for next season. So there will be 2 separate tiers. You will have, as like this season, you will have the elite tier, typically for the tier 1s. And you will also have that development tiers, typically for the likes of a tier 2 and 3 standard sort of drivers, to give them a chance of a championship as well. So that is sort of how it will be ran for next season. It will be equal cars, but 2 separate championships. Effectively 10 drivers in the elite tier, 10 drivers in the development tier. They all race together, but they all battle for their own drivers' championships. Right, Coffee getting through on Hazer now, so you can see Coffee certainly looks quick on those soft tyres here. And making some gains and inroads on both Merc and Lynx. Merc also himself looks quick. So it's whether or not these two can catch up towards Bolt and Destroyer Drac. We might get a gap to the leader and just see if they can gain time on Destroyer Drac. But Drac has done a formidable job on his soft tyres here. I mean, wow. Yeah, fair play to Destroyer Drac for what he's doing tonight. Probably wouldn't even win that one either. Take it RP in the development tier. No, you'll just be in the retirement in the pits tier, mate. I'm sorry. Sorry, Deck. Right, Coffee, here we go. He's going to try and make the move now on Link's piece. Has a look on the inside into turn 1, but decides to hold out and remains in 5th place. We've also got Hazer just behind. I say just behind, he is losing a little bit of time on Coffee, but nothing too superior. And let's go and get the interval back on as well. Further back, they are certainly squabbling. So let's have a look towards this Epic Frenchy on the rear of Willie Fernandez, Mr. Poem. Baker Gaming gets ahead of James, and that's for P13 and P14 respectively. Those two will be getting into a few blows. They'll be racing in Tier 3 together as well. So let's see what Baker Gaming and James will do when James makes his Tier 3 debut, hopefully, on Wednesday night. As EM's out! EM is out! It's a full course safety car! Out of nowhere! You can see on the track map player, I know it's just disappeared, but the Ferrari was so far off track, just heading up here, and I do wonder if they just went wide. They must have just went wide into the gravel and must have just went straight on. But EM is out of the race and it's now a safety car. There have certainly been a few drivers. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone has pretty much done that in the last couple of F1 games at least. Everyone has gone wide at turns 7 and 8 here at the Netherlands, gone onto the curb and gone into the gravel. Whether or not you DNF or you get a bit of damage or you just go wide, but I think everybody has done it if you've raced on the game at this circuit. Yeah, it's an interesting sequence of corners when you go from sector 1 into sector 2. It is a fast, it's a fast track, but you need a lot of downforce as well. But yeah, just here, from turn 7 into turn 8, and then just up here into turn 9. If you get onto that curb just there, that's the one that can force your car to the left side. You're into the grass, you're into the gravel, and you may very well lose places. Because once you're in the grass or the gravel, that's it. Difficult to stop a car. And that's obviously, unfortunately, what's likely occurred for EM just there, out of the race. So no points for the Ferrari, unfortunately. Let's have a look then. We'll get a chance to see who is going to head into the pits. And as you can see, a few drivers have already gone for it. The top 5 all saying out to Destroyer Jack, deciding to take this chance to pit now on the fresh mediums. So, given Jack's pace on the old softs, there you go. Let's see what he can do on the fresh tyres. I think he'll be loving the sound of a fresh tyre. So Hazer, Doug, William, Epic Frenchie, and Mr. Poem all deciding to stay out on track on their older tyres. Destroyer Jack, who was leading the race on the mediums, Hards for Ruster Bolt, Lynx, and Merc, Coffee on the mediums in P10. He did seem to have pitted a lap earlier, actually. So that safety car came out at a bad time for the Alpine. And Becky Gaming in P11, Viking Fox P12. He was leading the race earlier on, but sadly had a drive-through penalty. So James also in P13 can now join up to the back of the queue. But yeah, let's see if Hazer can go on to deliver a win again. He's on the older tyres, but we've seen in this race so far, particularly from Jack, and also we've seen it from Ruster Bolt, doesn't necessarily mean everything if you're on the fresh tyres. Hello Hazer, good to see you using a name that we actually fully know as well. I see that is your Twitch that you are now able to stream as well, which is good, because obviously easier to get clips and such, isn't it? Now because when you're live you don't have to worry about clipping everything. But yeah, obviously leading the race. Safety car's in this lap as well, so you might want to get prepared for that. And there you go, we see he's doing his tyre warm-ups now. As we see, getting the telemetry back on, the safety car nowhere near the pits really. So they are going to have to wait on that, and they might be waiting a fair while. The safety car now just entering the pits, and we are going for green flag racing again. Oh yeah, get that off, and there you go. So it's Hazer from Doug, from William, and Epic Frenchie closing in, and Mr. Poem as well. But they're all staying where they were for the safety car restart, except for Viking Fox and James, who are facing battle here. Viking Fox almost losing out to James, which is a bit of a surprise given James is on those older tyres here, but Viking Fox back into P12. And we'll go further up then towards Mr. Poem, and he's going to have a look on the inside. He just go down the inside on Epic Frenchie. And now is a chance for Destroyer Jack, who's going to fight it as well on the outside of Frenchie. Can Bolt do anything to compete for this? But Poem has certainly got the place. Frenchie under attack here from Destroyer Drac. Drac, don't forget, on the fresh tyres. Coffee further back, round the outside, takes Baker Gaming. And he's going to take that place for a top 10. We have to head further up here towards Destroyer Drac. Has he got himself a chance to get through or not? We're certainly not making it just yet into turn 11. So he's going to hold out for a couple of turns. Viking, Fox and James resume their battle, and Vikings back into P12. Further back here on board with Coffee, we are going to get the tyre situation away. Let me just go with the pit stops, and Coffee is closing in on Merck. Has he got a chance to make this move? Not quite. He has to stay in behind. Back towards this battle though. Mr. Poem, Epic Frenchie, Destroyer Jack, Rusted Bolt in there as well. He'll be happy to see himself into the top 10, but he certainly wants that podium to take the championship lead tonight away from the Bird. The Bird would also have a qualifying ban to serve at the moment for next week. But then you've got Lynx, you've got Mark, you've got Coffee, all in the top 10 as well. So a lot of competition here in the 100% tier for a podium and for the victory, of course. That's Destroyer Jack on his fresher rubber, still closing in on Epic Frenchie. And we'll get the stop situation away and we'll go to none because why not? And let's see if Destroyer Jack has an opportunity in this race to get the move, but we may very well have to go up towards Doug. I think we will have to go up towards Doug because look how close he is. He'll get DRS as well. No chance for Hazer. So Doug is leading a 100% tier race in the Aston Martin. We've had both Aston Martins leading here tonight. Doug is a second of them. And now Destroyer Jack, Epic Frenchie is at a problem. Two go wide. Epic Frenchie B1. And you've also got, I believe, Rusted Bolt was the other. Or Coffee even. Certainly some problems there, but Mr. Poem in 4th. Destroyer Jack up to 5th now. Then it's Lynx, then it's Mark rather, in P7. So yeah, Mark, what can he do from that place? Back up towards Hazer. We may have to drop back. Coffee making gains on Mark now. So we are actually having to go back towards that. Can the Dutchman get a podium at his home Grand Prix here tonight, Coffee? He's going to have something to fight for, that's for sure. With Mark just ahead, all getting DRS, don't forget, Destroyer Jack now passes Mr. Poem and up into 4th place. Destroyer Jack has looked very quick in this Grand Prix. No ABS going well, I see, says Deck. I'm presuming that's regarding Hazer. Alright, let's go back up the field then here. Doug deciding not really trying to fight it too much, but he does stay ahead of Hazer actually. So in the end, not letting Hazer go through. Hazer P2. Woody Fernandez in 3rd as well. Woody Fernandez putting in a good show in these opening 34 laps. Almost halfway through this Grand Prix as well. But that is your podium. Doug, Hazer, William. Destroyer Drac, however, looks mighty quick and is almost within 1 second here. So he's certainly in the running to win this race. I mean, he's got to be a favourite at the moment, if not the favourite to win. Destroyer Drac will have to be considered a major favourite to win now. Having seen his pace earlier on the old soft tyres where he actually pulled away. And now Hazer here has a look on the inside of Doug and gets the move done. It's up to P1, but guess what? Doug's going to be the one to get DRS down into turn 1. So whether or not that was a mistake remains to be seen. The top 12 all in DRS range. The only one unfortunately to have dropped out is James. But again, James in all fairness wouldn't have been in the Visa RB. He would have been in a quicker car. It's just that the Visa RB was the only car available for him as Doug makes a move on Hazer and leads the race. William P3, Jack, Mr. Poem just hanging on to the DRS in P5 at the moment. But Lynx Peace and Merck will both be looking at, as will Coffee and Bolt. So yeah, let's see who can make the moves here. But Doug now leads the Grand Prix and he has Hazer still for company. But the only question is, when will Destroyer Drac punch and make a move on Willie Fernandez here? Again, on those fresher tyres, he's going to be feeling much more grip here, significantly more grip than the McLaren. Not just the McLaren, but the three ahead. Although, again, loses a bit of traction, ironically enough, out of turn 10. Some different lines being approached there. Link's piece having a look on Mr. Poem. Goes a little bit wide for his liking. But again, recovers to get that traction down into turn 13 as well. Turn 13, I've got to admit, is not really the place you want to be trying to go side by side, which again, I go back to what I saw from Bam earlier. Wasn't really the move that you should be making. Turn 13, just not it. Anyways, here goes Destroyer Jack, and he does get by William, as does Mr. Poem. And now Link's piece going round the outside, make it the inside. And now he gets through as William drops 3 places and down the inside here. Coffee goes on with Rusted Bolt, and it looks like Coffee just ahead. And Merck now pulls round the outside and takes the place of Woody Fernandez. And then Coffee, can he get himself through as moves are being made on lap 36? We have reached the halfway mark in this Grand Prix. Coffee not quite close enough to make a move on William, but is he close enough here? Yes, he is. He goes down the inside of Woody Fernandez, and Coffee now is up into 7th place. Nothing that William could do about that. Coffee up the field. Link's piece then on Jack. Jack has lost out, of course, to that move on Mr. Poem. And the top 2 there, Doug with Hazer as well. The top 12 still all in DRS range here. Everyone's just taking turns at Woody, poor boy. Yeah, gutting for him. But you know what? He'll be happy. He's still with this train, down to P12. And there you go. Another move being made as you got Viking Fox overtaking Baker Gaming. And we'll have a look here. Drac not making a move on Mr. Poem. Link's piece also in 5th. Merck and P6 back towards Links we go. As our Epic Frenchie has lost that 1 second to the top 9 now. So 2 Mercedes will have to try and push hard to get back within the 1 second range. So we're just on with Link's piece. Hazer still not getting through on Doug, by the way. Hazer in 2nd. He's always been close to Doug, but he's always opted against an overtake, which is interesting from Hazer. Maybe just feeling, you know what, there's no need to push hard for the overtake. I can settle for P2 for now. That's Coffee behind Merck. Was for a moment within a couple of tenths, just dropped back by a couple of tenths, however. And let's go back up, have a look at Destroyer Drac once more. Around turns 13 into 14, and again all the way into turn 1. Can he go for a move, or no, he's not going to? In fact, Link's piece was closer to him. Viking Fox overtaking his teammate Epic Frenchie, and Rusted Bolt goes down the inside on Willie Fernandez. And Bolt up into P8 now onto the curb a little bit. Could bring the Mercedes pairing back into this battle. Viking Fox, however. Yes, Viking Fox now got himself within 1 second to the top 11 of all in DRS range. Merck side by side here. Merck has made the move, has he? Yes, he has. And there you go. Mark up into the top 5. It's a beautiful overtake on Link's piece now. And Destroyer Drac here. And Link's piece had a look down the inside on Mark. Let's have another look down the inside on Mark. Mark just not really defending too much, but he does lose traction. And Link's piece has seen that. Link's going for the overtake round the outside. And he does get the place. He takes it away from Mark again. Mark just dropping down a P6. And then you've got Coffee still directly behind them in P7. Some good battling going on here tonight, I've got to say. And all of those in that top 11 group still in DRS range of each other. It's going to be very difficult for the likes of Baker Gaming and James to get back into this race here. As Coffee round the outside now on Merck. Has he got the place done? And looks like he has. Out of battery, but it doesn't matter because Coffee is into P6. He pushed hard for that overtake. Saw Merck made a mistake a few corners to go into sector 2. But Coffee now does make the move. So up into P6 he goes. And we'll have a look back at Hazer because he's not really been doing anything in terms of major action in the past few laps. deciding that he wants to stay behind Doug rather than going for the overtake here. Obviously, you presume he is relatively satisfied with the pace of Doug so far. Lovely drive from both. Yep, certainly. Certainly good driving as Ruster Bolt now is through on Merck. Merck allowing his teammate to go by. Link's Piece also. Oh, it's off track there, Link's Piece. Having a bit of a duel with Destroyer. Drac loses out to Coffee as well. So Drac 4th, Coffee 5th. Link's down a P6 now. And Coffee, all of a sudden, is on the brink of the top 4. At his home Grand Prix, what can he do? Well, he stays in behind for now, so obviously not pushing the battery too hard, knowing that he's still got the quick drivers up ahead with Doug, Hazer, Mr. Poem, Destroyer, Drac. And still got the battle all the way down to P11. That is not changing at all, so fair play to all of them. Keeping it close here. Ruster Bolt and Mark still running close together likewise. Just going to go up the field. Destroyer, Drac. Having a little look on Mr. Poem, closing that gap nicely down to within a couple of tenths, but the gap opening up to 3 tenths, back down to 2 tenths as he got a shot here. And doesn't quite get the exit he wanted and stays behind, but Coffee is the one who is all over Drac now. And just has to stay in behind. Oh, but for how much longer? Doug! What's happened to Doug? Doug is down to P11. Oh no, Douglas has dropped down. Is he still in DRS? He might not be in DRS. He was leading the race. He might have got unlucky there. No, he didn't. But Mr. Poem, out of nowhere, it's a 3-4-way battle. Down the inside goes the Aston Martin of Drac as well. Of Hazer. He's got the move done. Hazer's lost 3 positions down the straight, and it's an Alpine 1 and 2 from Mr. Poem and Coffee. Incredible scenes here at the Netherlands. And yellow flags, Williams out! Willie Fernandez out of the Grand Prix, and it's a full course safety car. Unbelievable. Lap 40 into lap 41. Incredible battling, and then all of a sudden, Doug heads into the pits, and he is lucky. A lucky boy is Douglas, because the safety car is out. He will overtake the safety car. He will do it today. He will do it tonight. He won't do it on Saturday. He will do it on Friday night, and there you go. Takes his time about it, but finally does get past. It would be hilarious if the game disqualified him. I know it's not going to. But there you go. Let's go back to the Alpines, and what do they do now? Back to the tyres. So, if anybody's got hard tyres still available, guess what? You may very well be pitting for a fresh set of hard tyres now. But surely you're going to be wanting fresh tyres at the stage of the race. I mean, Drac, I was going to say Drac would probably stay out. He's pitted. It's very interesting, this race from Drac so far. He pitted, he stayed out early on the race on old softs. Yet he's decided 12 laps on the mediums, and that's it. He wants to pit now. Interesting strategy, but he's now back onto another set of mediums. Does he have hards? I'm surprised he's not trying to use the hard tyres here. Yeah, Drax, 6th, Hazel, then it's Mark, then you've got Lynx into the pits as well, Baker Gaming, James, and then you've got Doug as well. Doug's back into the pits, going for softs this time. Let's have a look at how many pit stops everybody has made. There you go. Most pit stops, 4 stops for Mark, 4 stops for James. So they are the ones who've been in the pits the most times in this Grand Prix. Only 1 stop for Epic Frenchy. There you go. Let's go back up then towards Coffee. The top 4, similar to the last time. In fact, it seems like every time there's always 4 drivers who seems to stay out. Don't know why. Maybe just wanting to try and keep it to an even number. Yeah, 4 drivers all opting to stay out. I don't want to call it a rogue shout, but 4 people went for the softs. Damn. Very true. Mr. Poem, Mark, Bakey Gaming, and Doug all going for the softs. Yeah, good shout, actually. Very fair. Right, and so the safety car you'd imagine will be in this lap. This should be the final time it go. Not the final time it heads out. Then again, what's the maximum limit you can get for safety cars? I think for the 100% races, it's normally a little bit little bit more, maybe 5 or 6 times. We may still have 1 or 2 more in hand, but there won't be many more. It might be the next one that's the last possible safety car, if there's a next one, of course. But we're down to 12 drivers here. So Rusterbolt in P2, but again, probably has to pit again. Get the telemetry up. Coffee then. He is away. Clean safety car restart, which is good to see. But he's not exactly had a blistering getaway here. Rusterbolt, in fact, was the one who was trying to gain on him, and he has certainly done that. The hard tyres will, of course, take a little bit longer to get up to speed. Epic Frenchie staying out on the old hards. Good luck to him, because he's got soft tyres in the form of Mr. Poem directly behind him. And as you can see, there's no chance for Epic Frenchie there. The traction too superior from Mr. Poem, and he does get himself up into 4th place. And Merck as well on the softs, up into P7 ahead of Hazer. So now both of those two are Mark making up some places now on the restart. Let's go back towards Poem then, as Viking Fox goes a little bit wide here. Could give Poem a chance. He's going to go all the way round the outside. He swoops in, dives in, and makes the move complete. Up onto the podium goes Mr. Poem. No chance there for Viking Fox. And further down the field, you've got Mark with Drac. Has Mark got a chance here? I mean, he probably will just drop in behind, he will. But he's going to get such great traction as well. Here comes Mark. And also Epic Frenchie with not the greatest of lines there. Poem takes Bolt. Poem is up into the top 2. But here we go. Can Mark get through? No, he cannot. A move down the inside by Lynx on Hazer. And Lynx Piece does get himself ahead of Hazer. Up into 8th here. But let's go back towards Mark. He has a look all the way around the outside. It's a bit risky, but here he comes. Here comes Mark. But he's not getting a move done just yet. Drac having a look outside, inside. He goes to the inside. This is a lovely direct on board, but we're going to go to the broadcast. Here comes Drac. And Epic Frenchie has defended it successfully for the time being. As Lynx Piece has a look down the inside on Mark. Does not get the move done, however. You just see here, Destroyer Drac continuing to close the gap towards Epic Frenchie. Go straight on! It's an error from Destroyer Drac. He's dropped down to last place. Significant for Drac there. But we are going to head up the field because Mr. Poem, on his fresh, soft tyres, wheels to the right-hand side, sets a DHL fastest lap, and takes a lead as Coffee almost went for the inside line and almost collided with his teammate. That was risky from Coffee, but Mr. Poem leads the Grand Prix. On those fresh tyres, can he pull clear now? This is his chance for glory. I will drop down, have a look. Mark on Epic Frenchie. Can he get the move done? Link's P still there as well. Mark down the inside of Epic Frenchie. Has he finally got the place done? Oh, yes, he has. Mark up into 5th now. And he looks to close the gap on Viking Fox as well. And he is going to be in DRS range. Down the inside goes Lynx as well. On Epic Frenchie. Having seen Mark make the move, he needed to do it as well. He does. Hazer is going to be the next one to try and do something. Does he have a look on the inside of Epic Frenchie? He holds out. But again, we'll have some chance there, and he'll probably wait until the main straight. Into turn 1. Let's see, does he go for the move there? Let's head back up towards Mark, however, because he will have the traction, he will have the DRS and the battery, and he will get the move done on Viking Fox now, and up into 4th place, rising now, as he got Lynx and then Hazer down the inside on Epic Frenchie. There's no chance Frenchie can go round the outside there. Hazer up into the top 7 now. And this seems to be where the fresh tyres are working in favour of you. And the fresh tyres are certainly working well. Drac, meanwhile, and Doug, the 2 Aston Martins, have gained a couple of places apiece, both into the top 10 now on James and Bakey Gaming. Those 2 have dropped down to P11 and P12. Epic Frenchie, don't forget, on the old tyres. He'll be struggling in this Grand Prix, undoubtedly so. As Link's piece there, we saw the kick Sauber just flying round the corner. Luckily, does not lose out anything at all. And still in DRS of Viking Fox here. Mark, meanwhile, not within DRS yet of his teammate Ruster Bolt, who is not in DRS of the 2 Alpines. 2 Alpines working together almost. Mr. Poem and Coffee trying to pull clear of the Williams here. And now here comes Link's PC. Will get through on Viking Fox and will get into the top 5. Merc sets a DHL fast lap, but Drac now takes it. Doug down the inside of Epic Frenchie. Does he get the move done? I think he may well. And what about Frenchie? Is he going to lose out to Drac as well? We're going to watch on with Destroyer. Drac is going to have a look now on the inside line, but he holds out against it. Does not quite have the grip he needed. But he will have superior grip. And here he goes again. Burning the battery. Has a look on the inside. A risky move. He's left plenty of space. Side by side goes Drac with Frenchie. And Frenchie, with a half spin, somehow keeps his car under control. But Drac is up into P9 now. And Epic Frenchie is going to have a hard battle here defending from Bakey Gaming. And here comes Bakey. On the outside line, he does take the place here. No fight there from Epic Frenchie. He understands the place is done. And Bakey now up into the top 10. Let's go up the field towards Hazer on Viking Fox now. Surely this is the time for Hazer to get the move done. Surely. Let's have a look. Down the inside into turn 1. Side by side goes Hazer with Viking. Has he got the grip he needs? Yes, he has. And that fires Hazer up into 6th then. Viking losing out. And now he has got Doug for company. Destroyer Drac still there in P9, but he needs to close the gap to get within DRS range. Up the field, Mark all over the rear of his teammate and his championship, the championship contender, Rusted Bolt. Ruster Bolt, if the results were to finish as is, where Ruster Bolt were to get a P3, he would be the championship leader heading into round 14 in the 100% tier with 2 races to go. So Ruster Bolt is exactly where he needs to be in this race. But you could say most drivers on track still have a good chance to win. There's not exactly limited laps to go. You've still got, what, 23 laps? Plenty of laps still to go for anyone to win. Still a chance of a safety car as well, I do believe, as Doug has a look on the inside of Viking Fox there. almost went left into him, but luckily doesn't, and dug up into P7. Destroyer Jack now has got back into this battle in 9th place, of course, having lost. No, well, yeah, he did lose a lot of places, as did Doug, by the way, don't forget. Not too long ago before the safety car restart. So yeah, the two Aston Martins looking to make their way through as Destroyer Jack had a look on Viking Fox. It was always going to be a risky move, and luckily no contact between a pairing, keeping it clean, and Viking staying ahead of his Tier 2 rival. And now you can see the differentiating of the lines there, where Jack clearly with the grip, burning the battery down the inside on Viking Fox. As he got the move, he makes it stick into turn 11. And Destroyer Jack now rising into 8th place, and he will get DRS from his teammate as well to make things extra happy for the two at Aston Martin. Douglow is there on Hazer, who is also still hanging on to Lynx, but here comes Mark. Not quite, stays behind Rusted Bolt now as Viking Fox into the pits, and he might go for a medium tyre on this lap. No, he goes for softs. It's a soft tyre. Ignore what I just said. So we go on with Bolt here. And Mark deciding to push now. Mark going. He's got it. Yellow flag in sector 3. But Mark takes his teammate Bolt. And he's into the top 3. Onto the podium now for Mark. Massive job for him. Massive. And now he can compete with the Alpines. It's Alpine v Williams in the top 4. And next up for Mark is the home favourite, the Dutchman Coffee in P2. And now Link's piece is also caught up to this battle. It is a 5-way battle. Hazer and Doug and Drac are not too far away. It could very well be an 8-way battle for the win here. But the question is, how many of them are going to run to the end of the Grand Prix on their current tyre? That is going to be the question. It's going to be a tough ask, but some of them certainly will risk it. And which driver will risk it? That's the question. I mean, the soft tyres may do it. I think the medium tyre runners will do it. Will Rusted Bolt take his hard to the end? That is a question as well. Just getting a little drink in there, but coffee, there you go, P2 still. But Mark very much closing in on those soft tyres. 14 laps fresher. I might actually get the soft tyre situation away now. But as you can see, Mark still gaining time on Coffee. Not quite enough time, however. And look at Rusted Bolt as well. Link's piece has a look on the inside. It's incredibly risky, but he's made it. Somehow, some way, Link's piece has done it. He's up into P4. That's a massive move into turns 13 and 14. Coffee takes a lead from Mr. Poem now. But what a move there. We've just seen from Link's piece. It's beautiful stuff from the Kick Sauber. It was a massive move as well, because he's done that move whilst overtaking Rusted Bolt. Don't forget, Rusted Bolt is competing with Lynx's teammate for the championship. Into the pits goes James. Viking Fox 1:12.1 for the DHL fast lap as well. Will he hold on to it until the end of the race? Remains to be seen. But a few drivers have certainly been pitting since that safety car restart. But none of them are in this top 8, which is the battle for the win and for the podium tonight. is that who I think it is to smell? I mean a bird. Yeah, but it was a good move though for Lynx, that is for sure. Yeah, certainly a big move from Lynx. But now he's got Merck ahead. If he can get himself onto the podium, it would deliver good news for the Kick Sauber, for the bird, of course. Which one he could have been? Yeah, see, I think Deck wasn't. He didn't know he'd be back home in time. I think he said earlier. And his seat had pretty much been filled by then because he clicked decline. So yeah, Viva tell Tech off. I should, shouldn't I? Right, and here having a look at Mark as well. Had a look on Coffee there. Viking again, another fast lap. Here comes Mark. Here comes Mark having a look on Coffee. And is he going to go for another move here through the right-hand sequence of corners? Most likely not going to attempt to move here. With Link's piece just behind, waiting in the wings as well. Can't DNF a race. You don't. You don't. Yeah, very true, Deck. I did say you could end up winning the retiring in the pits championship. That could be your championship right there for you to deliver. Forget the development tier championship. That one you're not winning, mate. I'm afraid. Right, Merc or Lynx. I mean, who's going to make the next move? I mean, Drac has got ahead of Doug, and here comes Lynx. Speaking of the next move, Lynx piece wants the podium. He's going to go for it on the inside of Merc. Finally, into turn one, and Lynx is there. He's made the move stick. He's onto the podium now. Further back, Destroyer Jack did have a temporary look on Hazer. Rusted Boltlow behind his teammate Merc. I do wonder if Williams may switch positions at the end of the race to give Rusted Bolt the extra points or not. But let's have a look as well. Mr. Poem ahead of Coffee in this race. Right. Yeah, good move by Lynx, that one. Set some records, Tech. Right, let's see then. Lynx piece is certainly gaining on the Alpines as well here. Just going directly on board. Back to the broadcast. Good frame here. 8 drivers in the battle. You've got both Alpines, both Williams, both Aston Martins. And you've also got a Kicksauber and a Haas as well in this 8-way battle for a win at the Netherlands. Obviously, further back, you've got Baker Gaming, you've got Viking Fox, who has been setting fast lap after fast lap. And James and Epic Frenchie as well. They have all been in the pits. I think bar Baker Gaming. Dog's pitting. No, that's Drac. Drac's pitting now. Oh, that's an interesting strategy call there from Destroyer Jack. That is a rogue call. But here you go. Down the inside comes Lynx. Has he got the move on Coffee? Making the outside at the hairpin. He's surely got it. Getting the traction down. And Lynx piece is up at a P2 now. Have we got a new favourite to win? Merc! Merc has look at the move on Coffee. Unable to take it away from him, however. Lynx may have just become the new favourite to win here at the Netherlands. And again, that's almost out of nowhere. But he's becoming punchy. He's becoming a driver who wants to deliver the result as Merc. Oh, I say Mark rather. Loses traction and Rusted Bolt will get straight through. But here comes Hazer. Hazer on the inside of Mark. Side by side. And he has got the place as well. A lovely shot there, I've got to say. But Mark losing out to 2 drivers. Bolt P4, Hazer up to P5. And here comes Lynx for the race lead. Finally, he's going to take it away from Poem. And on lap 57, Lynx piece leads the Dutch Grand Prix. It is massive for him. Can he get the win? It will be beneficial towards the bird as well in his championship hopes and for the Kicksauber in securing the constructors. And that could be Lynx winning 3 races out of 4 in the past 7 days. I know he'll be gutted with tier 1, but he won the 100% tier last week. He won the inter tier last week. And now it could be another win for Lynx piece. What a week he's had. Apart from Monday night, of course. But wow, the last week, he has been mighty impressive here. You want to see the tyres? Yep. Your dad's the one who normally tells me to take them off. I'm joking. Don't worry, Woody. I'm only joking. Alright, let's see. Lynx piece and Mr. Poem certainly have the tyre advantage here. But I think out of all of them in the top 8, you may very well want to be in Lynx's shoes. Or, I say Lynx's shoes. You want to be in his car at the very least. The medium tyres, 15 laps old. They are the best alongside Hazer. And Hazer's got to get through a few drivers. But Mr. Poem now has a look on the inside of Lynx. A little clip there. Luckily, nothing too dangerous or an incident. So Mr. Poem, in the end, not losing out to Lynx. But May have lost a little bit of time there. We're going to go away from Matthias. Viking Fox, another fast snap of 1:11.7. He is on the rear of Destroyer Drac. Might get a gap to the leader here. Destroyer Drac 17 seconds. Viking Fox 17.5 seconds away. That's an interesting one. Can Drac and Viking potentially catch up to this group come the end of the race? I mean, I know they're a long way back, but they are on fresh tyres. That's the reason why I'm asking that question for you. Especially Drac. He is going to be mighty quick now. So it is Lynx, then the two Alpines, then Rusted Bolt, then Hazer, who, don't forget, could be under pressure from a potential penalty because of the incident under the safety car. I think it might have been the first safety car, where he did look like he had overtaken Destroyer Drac, and then Drac had to go off track and given places back. But yeah, that's just a question mark. Obviously, I didn't see the full picture of when Hazer overtook, but it would be interesting to be able to watch it back, that's for sure. But yeah, that remains to be seen. But he'll still try and take some places if he can. Hold up better than those softs at least. Let's go back up towards Lynx, who has just been overtaken by Mr. Poem. But he won't be too flustered by that. He'll know he's in a good spot, P2. As long as you're in the top two, you've got a shot on that last lap to win the race. And he'll be feeling confident that he can deliver. Yellow flags! James is round and into the wall. There's no safety car, no virtual safety car. He's lost a bit of his wing as well. But that's interesting that we've got no safety car for that. Does that suggest that there are no more safety cars left as Lynx Piece there got a little bit onto the curb? Round the outside into turns 13 and 14. You do not want to be doing that. But either way now, Lynx will get back through on Mr. Poem and take the race lead. And having a look there is Hazer. Hazer wanting the place away from Ruster Bolt does not get it done here. And now look, Hazer's going to go all the way around the outside. Who's going to get the advantage here? Would it be Bolt or would it be Hazer? I think just about Bolt. And Merck as well is right in behind this battle. Doug's still there as well. As Hazer goes a little bit wide onto the curbs here. Again, you don't want to be going wide. Certainly not there. You don't want to be going wide. Luckily, he doesn't. But Lynx P still leads. Poem, Coffee, Bolt, Hazer, Merck and Doug in that top 7. Destroyer Drac is gaining time. The leader, 13.3 seconds. Is it too much for Drac to get close to them? Yeah, I know, Dick. I've been saying a couple of times in this race, James wouldn't have been in the Visa RB. It's just that was the only seat available for him. He would have got the McLaren if Iceman pulled out of the race, but he didn't. So in the end, James had to get the only car available for him, which was the Visa RB. But yeah, he would have been in a quicker car. Obviously, if he signs up soon enough for the next week, then he will be in a quicker car than the Visa RB. But yeah, just the way it goes, unfortunately. Further down, Destroyer Drac has now got through on Baker Gaming. This is where can Destroyer Drac unleash his pace that we have seen in this race so far. He is on softs. He's well within 10 seconds as well now. I don't know, could Drac be an outside shot of a potential podium even? Maybe not the win. I think the win might just be a bit too far for Drac. But maybe he could still get on that podium. Let's find out. Let's have a look for Lynx Piece and Mr. Poem. And let's see if... Yeah, it was a heavy one sitting at the back, yeah. But yeah, don't worry, James, mate. Yeah, if you sign up for next week soon enough, you'll get a quicker car, don't you worry. The Visa RB was always going to be a struggle for a Tier 3, unless you're Warrener or Jack, of course, who have both... I say both. One of them has gone up to Tier 2, but maybe that was a point that I just made. I don't know. Maybe you guys have thought it through what I just said. But yeah, one of them's already moved up. Let's just say that much. Lynx Piece then on Mr. Poem again, just running close, not quite getting back ahead. Doug has lost out now. He's outside of that 1 second window. Yeah, it was good. Unlucky from Jamie. James? Oh yeah, James, whatever you want to call him. But either way, unlucky. And yeah, just get yourself signed up early for next week, and then you'll be in a quicker car. Yeah. Poem is difficult to break from. Lynx needs to try and save battery and go like hell in sector 2. Yeah, very true. I mean, listen, they'll all be fighting it hard here. All of those. I mean, Doug's back in DRS range. So the top 7 are all together again. Doug in the background there, just hanging on. Destroyer Jack, 7 seconds from the pack now. I know he'll be losing time down the straights, but it's through the corners. That's where he's going to massively gain. Have a look at the tyre situation again here. And as you can see, 6 laps. Everyone else, 20 plus laps. That's why he's picking it up. And no real gains through the first sector as well here on with Rusted Bolt. A bit of a wide line. And here comes Hazer. Is Hazer going to go for this place? And Mark as well. Mark has a look on the outside line. Doesn't quite take the place in. Settles in for P6 again. It is difficult to get overtakes done. And that's maybe why Destroyer Jack decided, you know what? I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to try and aim for a podium or something. Try and do something different here. It's not a major risk for him as well. Factor in, he's already got the championship sewn up for the development tier. As our links piece through on Mr. Poem. Bit of a lock up as well from Coffee in P3. But look at the gains that Drac is making. That gap is really dropping down. 5.5 seconds away now, Drac. Still 9 laps of racing to go. As we get to the line now, there'll be 9 laps to go. Jack is only 5 seconds from the pack here. I mean, this could be an incredible drive for a late start on the podium from Destroyer Jack. I've got to say, he is mighty, mighty quick at the Netherlands tonight. We're back on board with Rusted Bolt in P4. So as things stands, he would be level on points with the Bird if he finishes in P4 in this race. Obviously, depending on any post-race penalties. But at the moment, Rusted Bolt and the Bird will be level on points heading into next week. It's Aston Martin can still win it, yeah. But I'm not sure exactly what the gap is in the constructors. I think Kick Sauber are very close to securing it, but obviously double points final race could see Aston Martin have a chance because there's a lot of points to play for there on that double points race. Round 15 is really where it's going to be done, especially in the main tiers, tiers 1, 2 and 3. That's where the constructors will be won or lost. Mr. Poem back ahead of Linkspiece and back into P1. The gap to Destroyer Jack, 3.5 seconds. That is still closing. It's still possible with the double points. Yeah, very true. Let's see though. I mean, at the moment, if I were to ask you where do you think Destroyer Jack is going to finish, I'd like to know any views in the comments. Please let me know. Where do you think Destroyer Jack is going to finish in this race? Excluding any post-race penalties. Take that out of the equation. Just on tonight, where do you think Destroyer Jack will finish? I'd love to know people's opinions on that, because he is massively gaining on this battle here. Rusted Bolt also going for the move on Coffee. Certainly close there. Yeah, let me know where do you think Jack will finish in this race, because he's only 2.5 seconds away on soft tyres. Pull time penalties up. There are literally no penalties right now. Literally 0. I mean, I'll get them up for you as well. There you go. Penalties. No penalties. Link's Piece ahead of Mr. Poem. And oh, Coffee as well. Oh, there's a move further back. That's Hazer and Rusted Bolt there. And Hazer not quite getting the move. And Destroyer Jack is just 2 seconds away. But down the inside goes Mark. Mark side by side with Hazer. Is he going to get it done here? He's going to have a look on the inside line. Hazer round the outside. Nick and tuck stuff. And a bit of contact as well. Hazer just about holding out. And Destroyer Jack is 1.3 seconds behind now. I mean, if I'm Doug, I'm letting Jack straight through. I'm saying, you know what? I'm giving you that shot to try and get a podium here. And Jack is in. Destroyer Jack is within 1 second. He's within DRS range. Warren has gone for third. Dex has a chance at fifth. He's already in eighth, and he's in DRS range. We're on lap 66 out of 72. I mean, that's a big chance here for Jack to do something. Yeah, fair play for the drivers. Go on, Hazer. With the battling, never mind. He could take a podium here, says Deck. Let's find this out here. Does Doug also let his teammate through for a possible battle for the podium? Well, then again, Doug's going for the move on Mark. Doug's got through on Mark. Doug's up into the top 6 here. Incredible. Out of nowhere, Doug has got a move done. Link's Peace now, 7 tenths the gap on Mr. Poem. Make it 8 tenths. Is this where Mr. Poem's tyres are dropping? And is this where Link's Peace can pull clear? He is pulling ahead now. 8 tenths of a second is the gap. Mr. Poem is really going to have to push here. Let's drop down towards Drac. Because Drac is going to go down. He is on a Mark. And Drac is up to P7. That's 1 place done now for Mark. Mark is going to try and fight it. Doesn't do it. And Drac now, next up for him, will be Doug. And Coffee, Mr. Poem's dropping places. He's dropped 1 and 2. And that's a Hazer. What's Hazer done? Hazer has done something as a safety car as well. It's a full course safety car. I've just seen. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. A full course safety car. I mean, I think Destroyer Jack's going to be gutted first and foremost. They're all pitting. And Jack stays out. Destroyer Jack stays out. He's pulled the plug. And he's deciding, you know what, I'm taking the risk here. And Doug's changing his wing. Mr. Poem has been held up by Coffee. But you know what? The win and the podium is all up for grabs now. Wow. Destroyer Jack, though, staying out. And let's get the tyre situation back on. So you were talking about rogue decisions earlier in the race deck, I do remember. How about this? Hard tyres with about 3 laps of racing, maybe even 2 laps of racing, depending on how many laps we get. A few laps of racing and Coffee's gone for hard tyres to the end. No way. No way. Wow. I mean, that's incredible from Coffee there. He might be pitting on this lap just to go for a fresh set of softs. Has he got a fresh set of softs? That's going to be his question as well. Coffee is mental. What's he doing? I don't know about you boys, but I think he's on something. Hards must be a mistake. Yeah, I'm not sure about that strategy from Coffee, but you know what? It's a massive mistake, isn't it? I was going to say you're doing something different, but let's be real, it's a massive mistake. Is he going to pit now? Nope, he's staying on soft, on hards rather. Alright, interesting strategy, Coffee. Interesting strategy, but let's see how it works. Or doesn't work, shall I say. I'm rooting for Coffee. Coffee for the race win. Just a shame he's not in front of Bolt. True. How big of a factor could that play, you know? I mean, the only lucky thing for you, I'm guessing, is that, yeah, Jack is on older tyres and is leading. So maybe, even if Merck takes a bit of time to get through on Coffee, he can still catch up to the likes of Hazer, Bolt and Lynx in time. Possibly. I mean, Lynx will still be the favourite right now. It just depends how long it would take for him to get through on Jack. And we've got this lap. I think it's the final lap under the safety car. So Epic Friendship will need to catch back up quickly. I didn't mention, by the way, Becky Gaming's out of the race. That's why the safety car was called out. Track tyres are going to be slow compared to Lynx. I think we will see that straight away. Yeah, we definitely will. Good restart, Links, and away you go. Yeah, I mean, that's all he needs, really. If he can get ahead into turn 1, then there you go. He'll have a massive chance at the win. And there you go. Safety car is in this lap. We're on with Destroyer Jack. The unfortunate thing for Jack is he was potentially on for at least a podium. Then the safety car came out. Now he is going to be under massive pressure. We have got a shootout for 3 laps of racing, 2 of which will be having DRS as well. 2 DRS zones here at the Dutch Grand Prix. Destroyer Jack. When will he go racing? And he is away! And now Link's piece is under pressure immediately from Ruster Bolt. Bolt settles for P3. And Link's no major changes but Mr. Poem battling with Epic Frenchie. And Frenchie for a moment had a bit of a wheel on the inside but stays behind here. Mark makes a move on Coffee. Immediately the hard tyres. Oh, Coffee's into the wall. Coffee is into the wall and that'll pretty much be his race. He won't be getting any higher than P10. Sadly for Coffee. I mean, the hard tyres were always going to be a risk there. But in the end, the hard tyres not working in favour of the Dutchman at his home Grand Prix, sadly. At least he'll be in the top 10. But right at the end here, we've got 2.5 laps of racing to go. It's Drac ahead of Lynx, Mr. Poem ahead of Doug, and up into P7 now. Doug has a bit of wing damage as well on the left side of the end plate. And that could give Epic Frenchie a chance. Frenchie on the inside of Doug, and he gets the place, does he? They are still scrapping side by side. I will go towards Lynx very soon. Epic Frenchie now gets ahead of Doug, and there's no battle there. But here comes a chance for Lynx Peace to lead the race here. And he's going to go down the inside into turn 1. Is there a fight from Jack? Has Jack got a chance? No, he doesn't. And Lynx Peace takes the lead of the Grand Prix. 2 laps to go here in the Netherlands. Destroyer Jack in P2 now. Rusted Bolt is his next rival to take the championship lead as well. Don't forget Rusted Bolt. P3 will be enough for that. But P2 he'll be happy with. P1 he'll be thrilled with. Can Rusted Bolt now get through on Destroyer Drac? Drac's aim right now will be a podium. Hazer under pressure also from Mark, from Viking and Mr. Poem as well. As there was a little look down the inside from Hazer, not quite going for it, but Rusted Bolt, there you go. He does now get through on Destroyer Drac. And Rusted Bolt is on the rear of Lynx Peace for the win. Has Rusted Bolt got a win? What about Lynx? Can he make it 3 out of 4? Bolt gets onto the curb a little bit, but he's well within range. Into the straight, into turn 1. Rusted Bolt is coming. He is arriving onto the scene, and he takes the race lead. Lynx with a bit of contact, but Bolt has got the lead of the Grand Prix, and that could be the race done there and there. But a bit of an error, a bit of a mistake from Bolt. He went a little bit steep, and here comes Lynx. Lynx Peace at the edge just has to settle in behind. Rusted Bolt wants to do all he can to win, but Lynx also to help his teammate. But he gets a little bit on the inside curb there. Bolt still hanging on to the lead. We've got 1.5 sectors to go of racing now. Can Rusted Bolt hang on? Can Lynx take it away? 2 DRS zones remaining. Here is the first of them, out of turn 10, leading into turn 11. Bolt still leads by half a second now. It's going to be a miracle for Lynx to win from here, surely. Has he got anything? Let's get the telemetry away just quickly for the final laps, or for the final moments of this race. 1 more corner to go. Turn 13 into 14. Lynx will get the DRS. It's going to be a race to the line. But Rusted Bolt wins the Dutch Grand Prix. Lynx in P2. Hazer on the podium. Jack P4. Viking P5. With the fast lap, Mr. Poem in P6. Mark P7. Epic Frenchie P8. Doug P9. And the Dutchman Coffee at his home Grand Prix will finish in P10. But wow, Rusted Bolt does hang on to the win and takes the championship lead with that as well. Wow. Yeah, Bolt is now going to be the championship leader heading into round 14. We're going to see Coffee get to the line as well. Bolt, Lynx and Hazer on the podium. Coffee to the line on his home Grand Prix. And he does get the fastest lap as well. But Rusted Bolt takes victory at the Dutch Grand Prix. And the in-game driver of the day heading the way of Mark as well. No lies about that one. He does get the driver of the day. There you go. That safety car, yeah. Shame for you, Jack, for that safety car. Just missed out on the podium as well. Hazer just snatching it away. Then again, I could say maybe that safety car restart. I think that was maybe the first safety car, or the second safety car. Maybe wants to be looked at on that one. I think Hazer may have overtaken you. But either way, whether or not that will be put in, I do envision it probably will be put in, because I'd like to have a look at that anyway, see what happened. There you go, the podium celebrations completed. Rusted Bolt comes back from P11 and takes a massive step towards the title. Lynx Peace in P2, Hazer P3. That's another podium for Hazer after taking a podium last week. Will he hold on to it? Remains to be seen. P4 for Destroyer Jack, hoping for a podium. Viking Fox P5, Mr. Poem P6, Mark in P7. Frenchy P8, Doug P9, and Coffee, the final finisher in the top 10, also with a fast lap. A number of DNFs as well in the race. Yeah, it did look like that. That's what I pretty much thought, but yeah. Either way, yeah, definitely put it in, and we'll see what happened. Luckily now, Hazer also does stream, so at least he'll be able to put his clip in. But yeah, for the race tonight, thank you, Bird, thank you to Woviner as well. Good racing in the end. I mean, I know there were a number of safety cars, but you know what? It did make it exciting and thrilling. Made it different for the race win and for the podium. Obviously, Jack had a massive chance at a podium, possibly a win. Then all of a sudden, safety car came out, and it pretty much ruined his chances of a win, and just got beat at the line on the podium there for Hazer. But then again, Hazer's going to be under investigation anyways. But there you go. That is your race tonight in the 100% tier. We have been live across both platforms, Twitch and TikTok. I hope you've all had a bit of fun, enjoyed the action, and congratulations to Rusted Bolt on the win and the championship lead as well. Round 14 will be heading to, let's have a little look for next Friday's race. So round 14 for next Friday will be held at the United States. So it will be the Circuit of the Americas for round 14. And the finale in 2 weeks' time will be at Melbourne, Australia. So we head to Albert Park. So waiting for that one. But for tomorrow night, the international tier, Saturday 9 o'clock PM, 1 hour later, of course, and it will be held at Las Vegas. So good race there. Hopefully we'll be having a lot of action. And then Monday night, round 14, the penultimate round of the season, and we'll be heading to the Japanese Grand Prix. Tuesday night will be on 8 o'clock PM again, similar, of course, to the Monday. I'll be heading to Monza, and I'll be back on commentary for that one. Tier 3, Wednesday night, and it will be 8 o'clock PM, and that will be held at Portugal, heading, of course, to Portimao. And then, of course, back again next Friday for the 100% tier at the Circuit of the Americas. That is your race for tonight, though, at the Netherlands. Once again, congratulations to Rusted Bolt on the victory and the championship lead. We have been UFRL. I've been UFRL F1 Viva. Thank you for watching, and good night.